Hey guys, I'm doing a review on the Maybelline Dream Nude Airfoam Foundation, and I picked this up at London Drugs. Up in Canada, it was actually kind of expensive for a drugstore product. It was $16. Now I know in the States you can find this for about $10. And basically what it is a mousse foundation. So already going into it, I knew that it wasn't going to have that much coverage because with the mousse and it's kind of in the aerosol can, it's a lot of air packed in there. But I thought I would kind of give it a try and do a review for you guys. So they say that it is very light and gives you kind of a smooth, flawless finish. And I definitely agree that it's very light in how you put it on, and it does smooth your face out really nicely, especially at first. It comes in a little can like this, and you want to shake it a lot, especially before you use it the very first time. If you just shake it a little bit, it's going to come out white, and at first I was like, oh, maybe it has cool technology that it changes. No, it doesn't. So you just gotta shake it a long time, and then for a while I thought, oh, maybe I got like a defect, but you know, shake it for a good like solid minute, just kind of going like this. And then the next time and all the other times you use it, you can probably just like give it a couple good shakes and then it will be good to go. And when you do use this, you really want to make sure that you only pump down a little bit, because it's kind of like shaving cream that you pump it out and then it instantly grows. And this one is like even harder to control than shaving cream. Usually you can just get a little squirt, but this is going to grow like 3 or 4 times how much you put on. And if you do a big squirt, you're going to be throwing a lot of it out. If I I'd put too much on, but if I just do a little squirt, then that amount lasts for my whole face, but just a tiny little thing. I will show you kind of how it looks when I put it out on my hand, but a couple things. There are 12 different colors, and you can't sample them in the store. I guess that would be too messy. I don't know, maybe in other stores you can, but I don't think so. So you basically just have to go by the color of the bottle and then what it's called. This one I got in Classic Ivory, and this was the second lightest. There was a Porcelain Ivory, but I figured, no, this one looks like it would be good for me. And kind of looking at the bottle, although I know this isn't, it's not a see-through bottle, it's just like a printed color, but I figured, yeah, this looks good, and kind of in comparison it was the second lightest out of 12. And then just looking, this is my Makeup Forever, and I mean, I didn't have this with me, but they are pretty similar in shade. This one's a bit more yellow, this is a bit more pink, but I thought this would be the right shade for me. So I put it on, and first impression was, holy crap, it's orange. So this is not the color it's gonna be at all. I'll show you how it looks, and I guess I'll compare it to this one, which they seem like they would be the same. And this one is also kind of one of the lighter colors, but oh my god. Alright, so here we have my hand, and a little foam, and then it's getting bigger. So then you have something that looks like this, and this is actually not that bad color. It still looks very similar. A little orange, but not too bad. But then you can kind of see as it gets at the air and oxidizes a bit, it's turning more and more orange. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to kind of get a little on your finger and then pat it on your face and then move it around. And you should only do one small section at a time. So don't kind of do this and pat, 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 and then rub it all in, because it's going to dry already. So I'll just kind of take off some of the extra and then show you on my hand. But as you can see, it's looking pretty orange. Actually, my camera light is showing it really nicely. But you can kind of, yeah, there's still a big glob. And I'll compare it to, I'll put this beside it. Just a thin thing. So as you can see, this is my actual color and what works really well for me. And then this one is the orange. So now if you do, oh mine, this is nice. But if you do rub this in, if you rub it in enough, it kind of gets rid of some of that orange, but you have to rub it in a lot. Now I do have it on my face. What's a foundation kind of review if you aren't actually wearing it. And I know in the past I had done one where I wasn't wearing it, but it just completely made me break out. But this, it doesn't make me break out, but Yeah, I'll go on to that a little bit later. So yes, this is not true to color. I would definitely say go lighter a shade than what you think you'd be. So I don't consider myself to be really, really pale, but I would go with the porcelain ivory, even though I would not describe my skin tone as porcelain. But, you know, I would go down a shade. And then for coverage, like they say, they call it a sheer coverage. And I think that's pretty accurate. I mean, it does cover, you do see the color, but I would say it's more of a light coverage, but it's darker, or it's more heavier than if you just go with like a tinted moisturizer, so that's pretty good. I put it on, and obviously I do have like acne and acne scarring, so I did have to, and usually I just put concealer under my eye circles, and then if I have some acne, I did have to put concealer over my acne scars as well because it didn't really cover it, but I mean, that's not that big a deal. Another thing that I noticed is that it kind of got caught in my eyebrows, and then underneath it made it really orange. Now, I wasn't putting it all over my eyebrows. I mean, I did try to avoid it, but it just kind of, I don't know, got into the hairs on the outside, and then underneath my eyebrows, like the product built up, and you can see it's orange. So I mean, I grabbed some makeup remover and did that, but usually I don't have to do that. It doesn't build up orange under my eyebrows. So that's just the other thing. So really try to stay away from, you know, getting it in your eyebrows. And it does give you a matte finish. It goes on matte, which is good because I don't like shiny things. And I did set my face with a translucent powder, but this is pretty much the color. And I know from the camera it looks nice. I mean, I have a good lighting system as well. Basically, today I put it on in the morning at around 8 o'clock, and it's 2 o'clock now, so I wanted to kind of have it throughout the day so you weren't just seeing it right when it first went on. Obviously I did touch up, you know, covering my acne again if that kind of wore off, but for the most part, from afar it looks quite good. Like, I don't know, I think it makes my face look pretty flawless right now. But if you look up close, and I kind of looked in the natural light with a mirror, you can see that it's starting to separate. And then there's places where I guess my skin is drier, and that's where the product stays on it, but it goes the more orangey color. And so if you really look up close, you can see that it really doesn't look that good. It's getting blotchy, and I mean, again, I've only had it on for now a couple hours, so, but if you were gonna leave it for your whole day, then I think it would definitely really separate. Yeah, I can definitely see that it's like separating, and the main thing is that it's annoying is that it's separating and then it's leaving like orange globs. Now, I rubbed it in so much so my whole face doesn't look too orange, but yeah, those places where it's just sticking there, it's just orange. So overall, would I recommend this product? I would not. I think I like that it's so light, and if you were looking for kind of an alternative to a tinted moisturizer, then that would be really nice. But because it kind of gets blotchy after a couple hours, that's really not that practical. So I think it's a interesting idea, and obviously that's what attracted to me in the first place. Just the complete gimmick of having a foundation in like a spray bottle, an aerosol can. But it's not something that I would actually recommend, and I won't be using it anymore, and I won't be repurchasing it either. I think I would like it a little bit more if it actually was my color, but even that, it would still start to separate. Maybe you wouldn't see the orange separation, but you'd still see it separating from my skin. So I hope you enjoyed this review. Hopefully it was helpful, and I mean, if you can find it for a really good deal, like $4 or something, I guess give it a try, see if it works for your skin. But for $15, no way. Do not pay that much for this product. And if you haven't entered in my Luxe Box giveaway, there are still a few more days to enter in it. I will put the link in the down bar to that video, and then you can go check it out and enter it. Thanks for watching. Bye.